Hey guys, good morning. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It is 9 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, let me fill you guys in here. I'm running a little late. I went for a complimentary workout this morning. I'm looking to join back to a gym, and I'm trying a few different gyms out. This morning, about 5 o'clock, I went to a gym to try it out, and I wasn't planning on talking about that, but I've got to tell you the conversations I overheard. And I wasn't eavesdropping. Everybody knew we were all working out, and everybody knew they were being heard. So I don't want to hear any comments that I was eavesdropping and blah blah blah. All right, what I was originally going to talk about in this video, I wanted to talk about. Let me go over that first, and then I'll tell you guys what I overheard. Okay, originally this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the responses from Liz Cheney being ousted yesterday. From Trump's vicious, even for him, vicious blog about Liz Cheney. Of course, he called her a loser again. You guys that watch my channel know that it's become so transparent. Trump, about calling other people losers, when in reality he's the one that lost the election. He's the only real loser out of everybody that he's talking about. But anyway, it was a very vicious blog from Donald Trump. I'll have all the links down below. McConnell and McCarthy, this was entertaining. Different news channels were trying to kind of hammer these guys, catch them, trying to get them to admit why they ousted Liz Cheney. And it was entertaining to watch both these guys dance around. They would not admit that Liz Cheney was ousted for not going along with the big lie. McCarthy said something along the lines is, I don't think anybody is doubting the outcome of the election here. I just sat down with President Biden, and he's the president. I have the link down below for this, okay? So you guys could check it out yourselels. So he's not admitting. He won't admit when he's on camera. He's talking out of both sides of his face. When he's on camera, he just says, Liz Cheney's not with our program. But in reality, she's not going along with the big lie. Anybody that's not going along with the big lie is getting booted. But McCarthy and McConnell won't come out and say this. Why? Because they know it's untrue. They know this whole thing is a big lie. They won't say it on TV. They won't say that that's the reason they're kicking Liz Cheney out. And it's entertaining to watch them dance around. All right, then there was Madison Cawthorn and his ridiculously juvenile. He caught a lot of hell on Twitter for his juvenile hey nah hey goodbye to Liz Cheney. Yeah, he looks like a kid and now he sounds like a kid. All right, so I was gonna talk about that generally, the responses, but after I went to the gym this morning, I gotta fill you guys in. Okay, there was about 30 people there. It was about 5 a.m. I wore a mask. When I started running out of breath, I've been vaccinated and everything, and when everybody's around me, I just pulled my mask down so I didn't suffocate. And everybody else kind of was doing the same. Everybody was spaced out, except for this one group of guys. There was about 5 or 6 older Caucasian guys. There's a bank of TVs with the news on, and this kind of got this little group of Trump supporters all fired up. Now, this was interesting because last year, before the pandemic, I was going to another gym. And the way that this bunch of Trump supporters talked was different from what I heard before. There was less confidence, less aggression. They were unsure of themselves. I'll get into it more in a second. Okay, so this is what I actually overheard. And I was sitting right there. And they knew I heard everything. They knew everybody else in the rest of the gym heard this. So nobody was eavesdropping or anything like that. Okay, so they start talking about Chick-fil-a. And it's ridiculous. Joe Biden's America. You believe this? We can't get Chick-fil-A dipping sauce anymore. And I think I swear to God, I thought they were joking around. I didn't think they were serious. I had to look this up when I got home. Apparently, because of the pandemic again and supplies, customers at Chick-fil-A can only, I've never even been to Chick-fil-A, can only have one dipping sauce per entree now because there's a shortage right now. Pandemic, understandable. All right, according to, this is what I overheard. In Biden, because of Biden, First he wants to ban beef. I heard that again as they're talking. And then they go into this thing that it's all Biden's fault because Chick-fil-A is only going to give you one dipping sauce. So I looked this up when I got home. Again, the links will be down below. And I could not believe that Lauren Boebert was tweeting about this too, blaming Joe Biden for freaking dipping sauce. Ted Cruz blaming Joe Biden for dipping sauce. We have all this stuff going on in America. Russians hacking our pipelines. And these Trump supporter Republicans are talking about freaking dipping sauce. I couldn't believe it when I heard that this morning. All right, then now the next thing they talked about was the pipeline. This little group of like 4 or 5, up to 6 Caucasian guys, all working around me. They weren't working out. They were kind of just sitting on machines, bad-mouthing Biden and watching TV. That's what they were doing as I worked out. All right. They connected Biden shutting down the XL pipeline to the whole reason that in their mind somehow was connected to this Russian hack and the current hoarding of gas in the Southeast. In their minds, this was all connected, and it was all because of Joe Biden. Because Biden shut down the XL pipeline, which, from what I understand, brought petroleum from Canada to be exported out of the Gulf of Mexico, right? It wasn't even going to America. Had nothing to do with this recent pipeline being hacked, right? But in their minds, this was all connected, all right? And it was, like I said, I'll have all the links down below. Now, this is the thing. As they were talking, they saw me sitting there, and, they don't know. A lot of the Trump supporter group now it looks somewhat similar to me. They can't tell that I'm part Native American. They can't tell that I'm a liberal. All right. And from time to time, I see them look at me like they're encouraging me into the group. Like, hey, dude, why don't you? It looks like they want more people to join their little conspiracy group. Now, this is different from what I remember about a year or two ago. There was little groups of Trump supporters like this, talking loud, but it was more of an aggressive attitude. It was more of a, like they were daring anybody to disagree with them. That was like a year and a half ago. This was totally different, I noticed. When they were talking with each other, they were joking and laughing, and they sounded unsure of themselves. Like they looked at now when they talked about the pipeline, and they were blaming Biden for this. There was a moment like of uneasy kind of laughter and silence, and then they all kind of joined in. It's like they all know what they're saying is bull, but they kind of all laugh and they support each other and push the whole theory and it's bizarre. It was bizarre, man. The psychology in this, like I said, so it really seemed like they wanted more people to join in to kind of bolster their belief, because it was apparent deep down that these guys knew what they were saying was ridiculous, and the one guy would say something about the pipeline, and the other guys would kind of just like look down. And then they'd all laugh and say, freaking Biden, and they all know that what they're saying isn't true. But there's that group mentality that kind of comes together and holds this whole lie together. And they get this like tin hat fraternity, tin foil wearing, hat wearing fraternity in the gym this morning. It was entertaining, to say the least. I'll talk more about this. I'm sorry I didn't have the regular video today, but I had to share this with you. It was a unique experience hearing about the Chick-fil-A being dipping sauce, being Biden's America. I'll have all the links down below. Check it out. You guys have a good Thursday. I'll be back later with another video.